As we begin our study of the lower appendages, the legs, we're going to begin by looking at the pelvic girdle. These are the bones that are going to attach the legs to the vertebral column and give you support. Notice by looking at these two sets of bones, the one on the left is the male, the one on the right is the female. You notice here that these two sets of bones, males and females, no matter which one it is, the bones are much larger and more massive than the bones that make up the pectoral girdle, making up the arm for support for the arms. Now, from this picture, you can probably see the most easy way to distinguish male from female is in this area right here. That's the pubic arch. Notice that the pubic arch in the male is much smaller than the pubic arch of the female. Typically, the female's pubic arch is going to be around 105 to 110 degrees, and the male's pubic arch will be around 90 degrees. This is a view of one of the two hip bones. This is a viewing from the lateral surface. You can tell it's lateral because you have the socket here that the femur fits into. Now, the hip bone is actually made up of three fused bones. The one on the bottom here, this is the bone we sit on. This is called the ischium. This is the bone that when you're sitting on your chair, this is the part that's resting on the chair. The bone in the front, this is your pubic bone. And the large bone on the top, this is the ilium. As a matter of fact, this part up here is the iliac crest. This is what you'll put your hands on if you put your hands on your hips. Now, the other major feature here that you'll need to know for exams is this big bony projection down here. As I said before, this is the ischium. This rough and bony portion down here is the ischial tuberosity. Now, the two hip bones are held together in the front by a band of cartilage, fibrocartilage that fits right in here. This would join one side of the hip to the other bone. That little band of fibrocartilage is called the pubic symphysis. The part where the hip bones join to the vertebral column, they'll join at the sacrum. This portion right here will will form a joint with the sacrum. This part right here is the sacroiliac joint. Now, when these three bones are fused together, you get a bone which is commonly called the coxal bone. Now, the next step here is from this whole arrangement here. The leg bone is going to fit right into here. Now, notice how tightly or how far in the thigh bone or femur goes into the hip bone. This provides a lot of stability, so legs are, when they're fully extended, can stand for long periods of time without really getting tired because the ligaments and tendons that hold this all together are pulling it in really tight. As a matter of fact, there is a small depression. If you look on the femur, this little spot right here is where a ligament is going to go from there into here to help hold that femur into the hip joint.